matchup is here. The upGrad Mumba Masters take on the Ganges Grandmasters. And here we have the pairings. Rishi Anand takes on MVL. Rapport against Grishchuk. Samay, Tanya, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm super excited. This is the most crucial match for upGrad Mumba Masters. All of their team has to strike today because if they do not win this game, they're out of this tournament.
And there we've got handshakes. It's time to go. Maxime Vacher-Legrand starts
Khan
with
again.
the King's Pawn. And we have a Caro.
Guys, MVL is in great form because yesterday I played a match against him and he defeated me.
Wow. That's a great warm-up. A great warm-up for MVL to face Vishy straight after a win against Samay. And there we have an advanced variation of the Caro.
And
This
Vishy
is fight on.
plays the pawn sacrifice line.
He pushes the pawn twice in the opening, Sagar.
Right.
And that's something known as taking on fire.
Exactly. I mean, Vishy Anand generally likes to play very sound openings. But here he's playing aggressive stuff, giving up a pawn in the opening. Now he's captured it back. But what MVL essentially saying, I have a very strong pawn in the center.
Yeah, I mean, is it a long-term issue? Because the knight will later on come on f6, just like we saw in the game between Magnus and Levon.
You mean the knight on the queen side will come forward
Yeah,
and start putting pressure on that central pawn that you're talking about. Sagar, with Vishy's last move, he's managed to not only recapture the pawn, but also develop the bishop. This is a big, big board for these two players. It was very interesting to see how Vedika is here to support Vidit. A big day for Vidit as well. It just shows that the teams are feeling the pressure, calling the family for that extra support. This is a good moment to get an update on all our 6 boards in this very critical matchup.
Yes.
Because it's not only Vishy who's taking the risk. We are seeing a lot of non-standard opening approaches here. Look at
Wow.
that top center board. The H-pawn has marched down the board.
Wow.
This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, let's go to Grishchuk versus Rapport on board number 2. And we will get to see some amazing play by Grishchuk, who actually knows that his team needs all the points today. So if we take it from the top, it was the Sicilian, Rosolimo opening. He took the knight. And then, Tanya, here came the move that everyone has been waiting for, the pawn push on the side of the board and then pushing it again.
Oh my god, I thought he was just removing his back rank weakness.
No, he's just going all out there and then he moves the piece which he has already developed. This is hyper modern chess.
Wow, there are so many interesting positions out of the opening. And what catches my attention is the top right board, Vidit versus
Third board.
Lenia. That is board number 3. Again, a non-standard outcome of the opening that we see.
Let's go there.
Lenier has got a bishop pair in the position. We see him moving one of the
What?
bishops to a very interesting square.
What if you take this bishop here with its bishop is hanging, so it was not
It's
a piece
not a
blunder.
blunder. It's not a blunder. In fact, it's a mini trap because if you take the bishop, black picks up the bishop in return with a check and goes on to win the pawn as well.
I want to go to the junior board, the 6th board between Sindarov and Esipenko, because Esipenko is making the life of upGrad Mumba Masters very tough. Right now, he has pinned Sindarov's knight like this. He is a pawn up right now, Sindarov. You can see white has 7 pawns on the board. Black has 6. But the problem is, Tanya, how do you get rid of this nasty pin here?
I would not want to be white here. Give me 1 extra pawn, give me 2 extra pawns. I don't care. The threat that you are pointing out, black with 2 minor pieces attacking that knight. And the problem is that once a knight gets traded here, white's kingside pawn structure gets shattered.
Yeah.
There will be nothing defending white's king. And we can imagine a future, not a faraway one, with that other black knight jumping in onto the king side. You first jump 1 step, then you come another step as you're pointing out, and that could soon start to threaten checkmates along the king. This is big trouble for the white pieces.
You stop the queen from coming to g5 with check, which is very, very crucial. There's also a very beautiful trap here, which I just spotted. If you play knight h4 here, Samay, mate in 4.
Oh, Samay.
This is queen h6 checkmate.
Yes.
The pawn is
Wow!
pinned.
And
No, no,
what's
it's
the
not
follow-up?
pinned. It's
What's
not
the
pinned.
follow-up?
I'll tell you 1 second. Give me 1 second. This is rook e7 checkmate.
Woo!
Ooh, let's go.
Correct. An important detail here. Black has only sacrificed one pawn to get here, which is not that significant, and the attack continues apace. So yeah, this looks very, very problematic for Sindarov.
Maybe it's time to look at one game between Ho Yifan and Koneru Humpy on board number 4, because that's where Humpy is actually going all out on the attack. Humpy is like, this is the game, I'm going to go for it. She is playing here with the white pieces, and she has gone for a pawn push on the king side. Wow, look at that. The pawn has just simply moved forward.
But isn't this a double-edged move, Sagar and Tanya? Because now the king itself is weak, like White's king as well. I mean, the G diagonal. You know, Ho Yifan has a dark pair bishop.
It would be weak if Black can get pieces into the attack to actually start targeting it, but right now it looks like the fire is all on Black's king. Notice that bishop on b2. That's on the queen
Oh.
side. It's on a long diagonal. There can always be pressure there. With that last move that Humpy plays, she's asking her opponent to take that pawn. If Black was to recapture, if Ho Yifan was to take it, that leaves a big hole on the square. The knight jumps onto the center of the board, and this could be big, big disaster for Black.
Wow.
So huge decision there to be made by Ho Yifan. Humpy is in driver's seat in this one.
Agreed. There is a lot of pressure here.
Vishy Anand there with the black pieces, and
Whoa.
we do see a lot has been traded. Vishy about 5 minutes on the clock, Maxime 4.5 minutes. If we can just quickly bring up our
Guys,
analysis
only 18
board.
seconds for Maxime.
Oh wow, there have
What?
been a lot of moves. A lot has happened.
6 minutes for Vishy Anand.
And this is not our live position. We see the trades have happened. We will try and get an update on our board.
Guys, is MVL losing on time? Make a move, MVL. And MVL has
One
lost on...
second. What
the
is
video.
happening?
Let's go full screen on the video.
We
so
need to
that-
zoom into the players to see what's happening on the board and the clock. And there we have it. Maxime has time.
Okay.
He has 4 minutes.
Yeah, he has time, and his pieces also look very active. But Vishy has an extra pawn on the board.
But it's all about piece activity for Maxime. And I think that does more than compensate for that extra pawn. We see some back rank weaknesses potentially
We
for
have
Vishy
result
as well.
on board number 6. Can we quickly have a look there? Because what has happened on board number 6 between Andrei Asipenko and Javokhir Sindarov?
Oh wow,
Did
there's...
they agree to a draw? No. No,
What?
Sindarov
Sindarov
won.
won?
Yeah, it looks like Sindarov won somehow, and whoa! Andrei blundered mate in 1?
What? What?
We have to do a quick action replay in a completely what looked like a busted position with the white pieces.
Oh my god.
Andrei Asipenko goes down. We see Sindarov winning the tour, analyzing this is a huge turnaround.
This means upGrad Mumba Masters have got
Let's
have
go.
got 3 points.
Let's go. upGrad Mumba Masters are fighting. They have 3 points, and that means that they're doing great in this matchup.
Right.
And guys, on board number 1, we have a draw at the
Draw.
icon board between Vishwanathan Anand and MVL. That means the score right now is 4-1 in the favor of upGrad Mumba Masters.
Right. This match actually a huge turnaround on the Prodigy board, because Ganges Grandmasters we thought might score there. But actually Sindarov striking just when it was needed the most. And he has scored a massive win there.
Guys, let me tell you something. Let's quickly go to board number 4. Like I said, you remember that bishop is very, very dangerous.
Between
And
Humpy
look
and
at this.
Horifan.
Look at the teammates. upGrad Mumba Masters. They know that they're up on the match. Maxime, after that draw on the icon board, Sindarov with a very miraculous win there.
Yeah, Sindarov must be feeling so good about himself right now. But Humpy is actually going all out against Ho Yifan, and she has, look at the pieces, Tanya. Queen up here, the bishop on the long diagonal, 2 knights in the center. I can see the black king shivering there.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's so double-edged even right now. I feel this because that bishop on c5 is also dangerous. Do not underestimate that bishop over there.
Oh, yes. Samay.
Super dangerous, Ami. But my first question is that black has 2 pieces hanging. Loose pieces drop off.
Yes.
You got the rook hanging on the board and the knight at the edge of the board.
I think you should give one more piece because Mikhail Tal had said when 2 pieces are hanging, offer one more because the opponent can take only one.
Nice one. Nice one. But even if you can take 1 piece, that should be enough. Although, Yifan says, I'm not going to give anything. But guys,
Oh,
what is
it's a
this?
blunder.
Isn't this a free night?
It's
What
a
has
blunder.
happened? What is this?
And this just looks like
No, this
bad
is
news
over.
for the Ganges Grandmasters. You're just down a piece.
Absolutely, this is game over, which means that then the upGrad Mumba Masters move to 7-1 lead in the match.
Wow, guys, that is throwing the tournament wide open.
2.
And there we have it, guys. Humpy has won it for the upGrad Mumba Masters. And
huge
now
win.
we have 4 boards remaining. Let's try to see which board to go to.
Three, right?
Yeah, 3 boards. Let's go to board number 3 between Vidit and Dominguez. What's happening there?
I think it's gone into a rook endgame, and Vidit has managed to save himself because he was slightly worse, and the game is going to end in a draw, I think. And they have agreed to a draw. Great result there for the Mumba Masters once again. So the score now is 8-2, right? 8-2 is the score. Is Harika actually in trouble? I don't think so here. Harika also seems to be in a good position. She's exchange up.
She is an exchange up. Black has got a pawn and a bishop for a rook. That means 1 extra point. We do the maths. Rook is worth 5 points. A bishop and a pawn for it worth 4 points. If anyone can push, it's
Harika.
probably Harika.
Yeah.
But also Black looks very solid here. That bishop on e5 stops any counterplay on the e line. The other rook controls the d line.
I agree with you, Tanya, that it might not be easy to win this, but it's definitely not easy to even lose this. So if Harika draws this, then there's no chance that Ganges Grandmasters win this. There you have
Yeah,
it.
that's a
Now it's a
perpetual.
draw. Now it's a draw. But you know, maybe Harika says, I want to play for a win. You think
But
so?
should you? I don't
Harika
think you should,
is
right?
No,
a
you're
pure
maybe
professional.
maybe you should, because even the individual game points will be
Will
accounted
matter.
for.
Will matter. Yeah, that would be a difference of 2 points because you. No, but
I
no.
think
Oh,
she
there she
knows
is.
this is
There.
what is needed. The upGrad
Let's
Mumba
go.
Masters take down the Ganges Grandmasters, and what a big win this is for the team.
10-4 is the score.